It was a model, particularly at FEMA, the region, and the state level, that continuity. It was a model how disasters should be handled.
At a House Transportation Committee hearing on July 23rd, Congressman Figures asked Acting FEMA Administrator David Richardson what lessons he's learned from the Texas floods.
What lessons have you learned in the response to Texas that you will apply going forward, particularly through this hurricane season?
Thank you for your question. So a lesson learned from Texas and is essentially how Texas had forces pre-positioned. For example, there are 28 national urban SAR units. One of them was in Texas. And it's not that it's a lesson learned, but what we did is we confirmed how effective that is. And under Secretary Noem's leadership, we also confirmed how effective it was for the Emergency Operations Center in Texas to be able to communicate with CBP as well as Coast Guard. So all those DHS assets were already there. So pre-positioning is something that we've confirmed is a solid practice. And I think one of my lessons learned, and I think this is an important one, obviously communication. Nimkid and I were in communication. I was in communication with Secretary Noem, coordination, pre-positioning, planning. But the lesson that I particularly learned was personal relationships.
The congressman pressed Richardson by asking him if he did anything wrong in the response.
Is there anything you think FEMA did wrong in its response to the Texas floods that we can rectify and do differently next time?
I can't see anything that we did wrong, and I think the President and the Secretary have acknowledged that, and so has Governor Abbott, by saying how well we did. So what we would like to do is we would like to take the strengths that we did in Texas, and we're going to share them with other states, and we'll work on them in tabletop exercise to make sure that they can do it as well as Texas.
Is it your testimony here today that FEMA's response to the Texas flooding was a perfect game? It was perfect.
Well, nothing is perfect. However, I will say that it was a model, particularly at FEMA, the region, and the state level, that continuity. It was a model how disasters should be handled. And that's thanks to the President's guidance, the Secretary's guidance, Governor Abbott, the State Emergency Operations Center in Texas, the emergency manager, as well as the Region 6 manager.
For more Congress clips, stay right here, and thanks for watching.